welcome. Today we are stepping away from the rapid-fire headlines of the 8-hour day. This is a 40-hour workweek special where we trade the noise of the moment for the mechanics of the machine. Today we look at the numbers they hope you never verify. Your raise was a lie, your paycheck is propaganda, and the economy they keep bragging about, you are not living in it. Because if things are so good, why does every trip to the grocery store feel like an ambush? Why does a full tank of gas feel like a financial decision? Why does getting paid still somehow feel like falling behind? They told you inflation was cooling. They told you wages were rising. They told you the economy was strong. So either you are bad at math, or they are selling you a fantasy. Tonight, let's talk about the real economy. The one where your paycheck goes up on paper, your bills go up in real life, and somehow you are supposed to clap because the numbers look better on television. Here is the part that they never explain clearly. A paycheck is not measured by what it says, it is measured by what it buys.
That is the whole game. That is the whole con.
You can get a raise and still get poorer. You can make more money and still lose ground. You can hear that wages are up and still feel your life getting tighter. And that is not because you are crazy, that is because nominal wages and real buying power are not the same thing. Nominal wages are the number on the paycheck. Real wages are what that paycheck can actually do once rent, food, gas, insurance, utilities, and debt take their cut. In March, consumer prices were up 3.3% from a year earlier. Real average hourly earnings were up just 0.1% over the year. Read that again. Prices up 3.3%. Real hourly earnings up 0.1%. That is not relief. That is barely standing still. And even that bland little number does not fully capture how people actually live, because nobody buys the average economy. You buy groceries, you buy gas, you pay rent, you pay the electric bill, you pay whatever fresh humiliation your insurance company mailed you this month. And in March, the energy index jumped 10.9% in a single month. Gasoline alone surged 21.2% in a month. Shelter kept rising too. So when people hear that inflation is only one number, what they are really hearing is this: the things I cannot avoid are still crushing me. That is why so many people feel insane when they hear polished media talk about a resilient consumer. Resilient? No, managed, cornered, stretched, floating. Because that is what a lot of households are doing now. They are not thriving, they are absorbing shock. And when income does not create breathing room, people make up the difference with debt. Credit cards, auto loans, personal loans, buy now, pay later. Monthly payments stacked on top of monthly payments until your whole life starts to feel like one giant subscription you forgot to cancel. By the end of 2025, total household debt in the United States had reached $18.8 trillion, and 4.8% of outstanding debt was in some stage of delinquency. That means millions of people are not just emotionally stressed, they are financially slipping. And this is where the official story starts to fall apart. Because the economy they describe is a chart. The economy you live in is a sequence of transactions. Swipe, declined, tap, overdraft, auto-renew, past due. That is the real economy. The one we're getting paid does not feel like progress. It feels like temporary damage control. And people know it. They feel it in their chest every time they open an app, check a balance, or walk through a store trying to pretend they are not doing price math in real time. That is why consumer sentiment keeps falling apart. In early April, the University of Michigan's Consumer Sentiment Index dropped to 47.6, down from 53.3 in March. Of course it did. Because people are not stupid, they can feel when the numbers on television and the texture of real life stop matching. They can feel when every headline says the economy is strong, but their own life says otherwise. They can feel when every so-called gain disappears into costs they never chose and cannot avoid. And this is why the paycheck story matters so much, because most people do not need another lecture about the Federal Reserve. They do not need another smug segment about how inflation expectations are evolving. They need someone to say the obvious thing clearly. If your raise disappears into higher essentials, it was never really a raise, it was camouflage. But why is this happening? Why does the floor feel like it is constantly shifting? It is not an accident of nature. It is a design choice. For decades, the priority has been capital over labor, dividends over dignity. Profits are at record highs, but the share going to the people doing the actual work has been systematically throttled. A bigger number meant to make you feel calmer while the foundation under your life kept getting more expensive. If we want a different outcome, we need a different architecture. That starts with a labor-first agenda, universal services that decouple survival from your employer, aggressive collective bargaining to claw back the value you create, and a floor under wages that actually accounts for the cost of existing in the real world. You are not asking for a favor, you are asking for the receipts. That is why this moment feels so hostile. Not because everybody is unemployed, not because there is one dramatic crash on screen, but because millions of working people are doing exactly what they were told to do, showing up, working hard, staying employed, and still feeling like the floor is moving under them. That feeling has a name: declining buying power. So the next time somebody tells you wages are up, ask one question: up against what? Because if your paycheck rises but gas spikes, rent climbs, debt piles up, and your margin disappears, then no, you did not get ahead. You just got a slightly bigger number attached to the same struggle. Your raise was not a rescue, it was camouflage. And people are finally starting to notice. Mind the static, mind the spin, and mind who profits. Subscribe for more of the real economy.